Turkey's currency is crashing. As you saw, all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Rakak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders. A great millstone, peace, and blessings to you, fellow brothers, pushing out this word of true sincerity. As you saw, this is a video on RT. The name of this video was Plummeting Currency Sparks Mass Violent Rally in Istanbul, right? Istanbul, Turkey. And I've touched on this a couple of different times. The mainstream media is not covering this at all. Pretty much Turkey's currencies have, the last couple of years has always been rocky, but over, since this scamdemic, it's been really going into almost hyperinflation, or it's getting to hyperinflation. And the recent moves by Erdogan to curb inflation by lowering interest rates, excuse me, has, made the currency fall, and mass protests are, pursuing, because the buying power of the Lira, which is their currency, has dramatically dropped. And this was to fight interest rates. I'm sorry, not interest rates, but inflation. Okay, let me I have a couple. I just typed this in, Turkey currency crashing, right? And there's a whole bunch of articles within the last 2 days. Turkey stumbles into unknown as Lira crashes. Okay, Turkish Lira crashes to insane historic low after President Erdogan sparks sell-off. Turkish Lira crashes as central bank cuts rates to fight inflation. See that? And we're seeing inflation happen here in the United States. So the central banks are going to have to cut interest rates, which that's going to crash the currency. And that's what happened over there in Turkey, because they were fighting heavy inflation. They're still fighting heavy inflation, and the buying power of their dollar, which is the Lira, which is pegged against the dollar, is, it's pretty much worthless. You had a lot of people during, I believe it was about a year ago, they bought a whole bunch of gold. A lot of people, took money out of the bank to buy gold, and the bank actually stopped them from doing that, pulling out of the money out of the bank. They had bank holidays. But let me read a couple bits of some articles here. I think, yeah. I want to read a little bit just to show you how much, their currency is depleting. And this is going, remember, this is a global demolition of world economies. A global demolition. So of course it's not going to happen in the United States first. It's going to happen in these smaller countries. Okay? But we're already starting to see inflation, like out here in the West. Okay, Northern California, gas is $5 a gallon. Okay? Gas is like $5 a gallon. It's around high $4, $5. That's average. Why is that? Is it because gas is getting more expensive? No, it's because the buying power of the dollar, okay, is deflating. Okay, it's weakening. The buying power of the dollar is weakening. You had remember 2020, and then they gave all this stimulus out. They put trillions of dollars into the economy. Now we're starting to see that blowback, okay, of all that PPE, of all those federal loans, of all that stimulus. And the majority of the stimulus wasn't given to the American people, okay? It was funneled into all these, the military industrial complex, okay? It was funneled into all these organizations and given to, the state of Israel. Okay, you can look at it. It's all there. We touched on it, and you American people got a couple $100, a couple $1,000. Okay, so we're starting to see the blowback of all that stimulus that was pumped into the economy, okay, through inflation. Let's read a little bit of this. This is all CNN Business. Turkey is going its own way on inflation. So this is how Turkey is trying to fight inflation, because it's going to get out of hand, and all these governments, they're going to have to fight inflation, and they're going to have to do something. So Turkey, they had to cut interest rates, right? The lira is crashing. I spoke about this not too long ago, and the mainstream media they're not touching this. But see, it's getting out of hand where they're going to have to cover these things. It's getting out of hand, okay, which is sparking mass protests out there in Istanbul, Turkey. Why? It's because the buying power of people's money, it has depleted, and we're going to go into a little bit of it. It says Turkey is plunging into a fresh currency crisis as investors dump the lira in response to the extraordinary decision by the country's central bank to slash interest rates in the face of soaring inflation. And we're seeing that inflation as well here in the United States. But America is a richer nation, so people are not getting as hit hard as they are in Istanbul, Turkey, or Turkey in general. Okay, but the middle class, lower middle class, the working class, they're feeling that. They're feeling it at the pump. They're feeling it at the grocery store. Things are going to get super out of hand, which is going to spark protests. The lira stabilized on Wednesday but suffered a huge fall against the U.S. dollar on Tuesday. The lira fell more than 15% against the dollar at one point. So just out of nowhere, it dropped 15%. So say you have $1, right? $1 is your buying power, and it fell 15%. That $1 now is worth $85. Okay, instantly. Okay, so things that you can buy, you want to buy a bag of chips for $1, you can't do that no more, because your dollar is only it's only 85 cents. It's only 85 cents, 85% worth of what you had it. The Turkish currency has lost 40% of its value this year. So this year, if you have $100, okay, just slash $40 out of that. You got $60 now. So that $100 bill that you had in your shoebox is only now worth $60. You can only buy $60 worth of goods. Okay, that's a big loss. That's almost 50% of lost value, and that's just this year. And then on top of that, it slashed another 15%. Tuesday plunge marked the 11th consecutive day of losses for the lira. This is hyperinflation, where your currency is just bouncing around, every day. After the country's central bank last week cut interest rates by 100 basis points, when nobody knows what this is. How does money work? Only the money manipulators know how it works, because they're playing by a different set of rules. Okay, number one, this is not even real money. It's paper money, and the system is about to crash. Okay. The fiat currency, it's about to crash. They're about to bring in a digital currency, and the excuse is all these governments currencies will be crashing, so they have to come with some type of order out of chaos. Oh, see the fiat money system, it doesn't work. See what happened. People lost their livelihoods, and we got to bring in a new system because this old system doesn't work. It's archaic, which they brought the system. Okay, now they're crashing the system, and in Istanbul, Turkey, which that's the capital, or Turkey in general, they're one of the first countries that are falling into hyperinflation. Rates have been slashed by 400 basis points from 19% to 15% since September. That's despite inflation running at an annual rate of 20% in October. So they're running at 20% interest rates. 20% inflation. Meaning if you have $100, your $100 is only now worth $80. You can only buy $80 worth of goods with that $100. Okay, and the currency is so unstable. You don't not only has your dollar devalued, but you don't know if tomorrow it's going to jump down even worse. So there's a lot of uncertainty. This is how bad it got. This is from MSN.com. It says Apple halts sales in Turkey as the lira crashes. Since Tuesday, November 23rd, Turkey's online Apple Store remains available, but customers are unable to add products to their basket and check out. All they get is an error message. What's happening with the Turkish lira? The suspension came as Turkish currency, the lira, nosedived 15% to hit a record low of 13.44 to the dollar. The plunge was triggered by the president's type it, and they're gonna blame leadership, right? They're not gonna really blame who's to blame, right? They're gonna blame the puppets. Nobody's looking at the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers. Nobody's looking at the wicked bank elite, and that's exactly how they want it. So the wicked banking elite, they already have the digital system ready. And then when all these citizens start to blame the governments of why it crashed, they're gonna go after the puppets, right? And then the wicked elite gonna come in with a new system with new leadership as the figurehead and say, look, that old way is bad. We have a new way. This way is gonna be fair. Everybody is going to get a chance to make it in this system, okay? But it's gonna fail. The elites are going into slavery. Okay, Esau, eat them. The plunge was triggered by President Tayyip Erdogan's speech defending recent rate cuts, which have pushed inflation above 20%. Tuesday was the largest slide since the height of Turkey's 2018 currency crisis, which has been going on for a minute. Okay, but it's getting bad now. As we're seeing inflation happen in the States, but see, out here people are still able to maneuver, and they got a little bit more extra money, and they can kind of cut back in certain places. Okay, America is the richest nation, so it's going to hit America the last, but it's going to hit America the hardest, which stifled economic growth and kept inflation in the double digits for 3 years. The volatile lira is the worst performing currency in the world falling 45% this year. More than half the damage has occurred in the last week alone. See that? So they were hovering around 25% inflation throughout the whole year, and then boom, another 15% within the last week. What's to say, by the end of December, it hasn't lost 85% of its of its buying power. And this is why people were running towards the bank to pull out their money from the bank to buy gold. I did a lesson, a while back, I can't even find it, but they went to buy gold. Why? Because gold is going to hold its value. Okay, and if you peg it against a currency in a state of hyperinflation, it's actually going to increase in value. It's going to appreciate because gold is actual money. Now the elite took all the gold and they gave you paper notes, which really this is a digital system because you don't actually have those notes in your possession. Say you got $20,000 in the bank doesn't have that $20,000. It just has digits on the screen. And if you go to the bank and you try to say, hey, look, I want $20,000, they'll question you. Why do you need $20,000? Okay, they'll give you a hard time. Well, it'll actually a red flag, okay, in their system if you take out more than $10,000 at a time. Okay? So we see that the titles here. I'm going to bring out a scripture. But you see the titles here, how Turkey, their currency crashed another 15%. It was already in the double digits, but it crashed another 15% within this last week. I want to read a little bit more of that other article right here. It says, and if Erdogan stands firm with his economic policies, inflation could reach as high as 50%. Well, it's going to reach even higher. And they're blaming Erdogan, okay, which the elites might not be too happy with this guy. There's been some issues for a minute. I know Erdogan, they were dealing with Russia buying their missile defense systems, and America didn't like that. And Turkey is a NATO nation. So, there's a lot of things going on in the background, which, it is what it is. But we're going to touch on things concerning prophecy, and this is prophecy. I want to get 2 Ezra 16 because it talks about goods shall be sold good cheap, right? But see, goods are going to go expensive. People think it's all good. Right here, 2 Ezra 16, and let me start at 17, and I'm gonna go down. I just wanted to get the point where it talks about victuals being so good cheap, because goods are still pretty cheap because China makes all the goods and they get imported here, but we know that the supply chain breaking down and all types of things like that is going to pretty much cause shortages. These are artificial shortages as well as inflation. So, this is pretty much the perfect storm. 2 Ezra 16, 17, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Right, Yahweh Shema Shai is going to deliver his elect. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning. The beginning of famine and great death. Is this joy and peace? They're upset because overnight they lost another 15% of their currency. Okay, so they're hovering around 45% inflation. Okay, meaning if you have $100, okay, and you used to go to the grocery store and you get so many goods for $100, right? But now you go to the grocery store and you're only able to what? $60, $55, $60 worth of goods. So you can only buy 60 to $65 worth of goods. Okay, with that $100 now. So you got to cut down on things. You might not be able to buy that, that gallon of milk that's now $10. You might not be able to get that honey. These goods that are expensive. You might not be able to buy meat. You only can get one piece of meat. Usually when you go to the store, you can get 5 pieces of meat. Right? You get the drumstick, thing, with a whole bunch of chicken drumsticks. And you get the ground beef, and you might get a couple of slabs of lamb or turkey. You might only be able to get 2 or 3 drumsticks. Okay. So this shit's gonna get crazy. That bag of rice, you might be able to only buy real cheap items. The stretch. Right. But but your rent as well, because your wages didn't go up. Your rent is still there, but your wages have not gone up. Okay, your gas. If you commute to work, you getting hit with inflation. You gonna have to pay an extra 45%. So say you can fill your car up. Say you got a big truck, $100. Well, when you go there, you only gonna be able to get $60 worth of gas because of inflation. $55 to $60 worth of gas because of inflation. So your tank is you're not gonna be able to fill your tank up. You gonna get what? A little over half your tank filled. So you're gonna have to pay an extra $45 to fill your tank, basically. That's basically what it comes. If you used to fill your tank at $100, you should be able to fill your tank for $100, and it's 45% inflation. That means you're gonna have to add an extra $45. You're gonna have to pay $145 to get your tank back to full due to inflation. So shit is getting out of hand, and that's why they're going crazy, because their currency is literally just at any given moment it's super volatile. And there's certain stipulations that those banks out there. I remember going into an article about it, how they won't allow you to take all your money out, because because once that happens, people what is people's first initiative if the currency starts crashing? They run to the bank. They run to the bank to take all their money out, but the bank doesn't have the money. The bank can't give you all the money. If everybody went to the bank and took out their money, the bank don't have that money. Okay? It's a big goddamn scam. So they have a bank holiday. They'll literally stop you from taking your money out. So your money is in your account. Okay? You on your mobile banking, and you're seeing your currency drop. You had $100,000. Now, if you had $100,000 in the bank and it's 45% inflation, okay? You only have what, $55,000 worth of money? You just had $100,000. Now you only have about $55,000. So it's bad. It's bad. Right? So that's the beginning of sorrows and great mourning. It's coming it's already here. It's literally already here. Okay, what are the first signs? You energy. You see energy costs go up, and you see food costs go up. Those are the first 2 signs. Energy and food. The beginning of famine and great death. And what about when famine comes? You ain't seen nothing yet. The beginning of wars, and this is going to spark wars. Currency wars turn into hot wars. Okay? Somebody, and you know what? A lot of this is America's to blame. And the power shall stand in fear. Okay? Who are the powers? The elite. Because as they're doing all these different things, the Most High is showing signs. He's showing them chariots. The beginning of evils. Evil means bad time. That's a compound word. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Right. What shall we do? What are the hopeful elect? okay, us brothers, few sisters that subscribe to this truth, that call on the names of Yahweh Shemal Shad, well, first and foremost, we've been given a heads up. We've been told that all these things are not gonna take us by surprise. We're literally watching for these things. Okay, I just turned on to YouTube, and that was the first video that popped up, and I'm always going to Turkey. You know, their crisis in Turkey. I remember covering it when they did a bank run. Okay, and they were their currency was crashing, and what did they do? They went right into gold. They started buying gold. You know, and I remember the Apostle Elder Tar. He's always been he put me on that, buying gold and silver. Why? It's because that's a hedge against inflation. Now, ultimately, none of that shit's gonna matter, right? None of it's gonna matter eventually. But there could be a time where you that gold and silver that you bought, it's gonna be able to help you out during that time of inflation. We don't know how the Most High is gonna work it out. We don't know, but the Most High is gonna work it out. It's not gonna save us, right? But it's smart. It's very smart to do certain things. If you have the chance to buy some silver, maybe some gold, okay, you have. If you don't, you don't. It's no big deal. If you have a chance to buy, some extra bags of food, it would be a wise idea to buy certain goods, from when shit, say something happened and everybody started running to the grocery store. Maybe you got a month worth of food for your family, to where say you couldn't get to the grocery store, or it's too hectic, it's too crazy. It's smart. But ultimately the Most High, he gonna work all that out. If you don't have all that, that's fine. The Most High gonna work it out. Okay. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. But for all these things they shall not turn from the wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Right, these people are not going to, and really this is Jake, right? Really this is about Jake, because Jake can turn. But everybody, all these nations, they're not going to look, oh, you know what? We allowed the alphabet people, we gave them rights. Just like Mexico, legalized abortion, and then that same day they got hit with an earthquake. They didn't put those two things together. Like, damn, the Most High, he's not with this. So these scourges are happening, and they're not going to be mindful. They're not going to be cognizant of this is because of their wickedness. So we need to repent. Okay, even tells you that when these nuclear missiles hit and destroy this place, that the elites are not going to even repent. Okay? They're not going to even repent. Behold, victual shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. I mean, even though we have inflation here, food is relatively inexpensive. It's not that expensive. Okay? People here in America are doing pretty good as far as a comparison to a third world country. Okay? Comparison to like a Kenya or a South Africa, or even parts of Central and South America. Really, outside of the United States and Europe, people are doing pretty bad. Okay, there's not an excess. Food is hard to come by. Everything it gets exported from these other countries to come into America. Okay, grains. Okay, different herbs, cattle. Like Brazil is a heavy beef exporter. The majority of that beef, the Brazilians don't enjoy that. Those top cuts of beef. Who enjoys that? The rich. Those that can afford. And America is a very meat dominant country. You're taught that, okay, to have dinner or to have food, you got to have meat. There has to be a piece of meat there. You got to have your protein. I hear people say that all the time. What about protein? You gotta eat protein. Esau done fucked up these people's minds, right? That's why they're so acidic, acid based. They have the standard American diet, the SAD diet, the SAD diet. The standard American diet is filled with nothing but acidic foods, which you can eat acidic foods, but you got to balance that with alkaline foods. Okay, but goods are relatively cheap because countries like Singapore, countries like China, India, South Asia, they make the goods for cheap. Slave labor, they might get paid $1 a day, and then they mark up the goods out, in the United States, and there's so many government programs and rebates, you in America, you really not gonna starve like that. Now there are certain cases, but you really not gonna starve like that. You got lunch programs where they're cutting those things, so people are used to cheap food. The food is processed, it's super cheap. You can go to McDonald's and get you a double cheeseburger. Okay, you get a chicken sandwich. Even though the shit ain't real, it's all super heavily processed. Nevertheless, it's still cheap. Right? It says, "Behold, victuals shall be good, so good cheap upon earth that they should think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth." See, sword, famine, and great confusion. And this is part of that great confusion, because people have lived a life in which the system has pretty much been stable. Especially here in the West, right? The system has been stable. The banking system has been stable. The financial system has been pretty stable. I mean, there's been certain recessions and stuff like that, but there's not a point. You never wake up, did my dollar lose 50% of its value? You haven't really had chaos like that. You always been, there always been some type of order here in America. You when you call 911, eventually they ass will show up. You can get medical treatment, right? There hasn't really been a breakdown in the system. There hasn't really been a breakdown in the financial system, right? So people think it's all good, but see, look, there's nothing but mass confusion going on, because all of a sudden, boom, your currency has lost 45%. Okay, and people are like, why is this happening? Why? That's that great confusion. So I mean, that's pretty much it on there. I'm gonna close it out there. Stay tuned. Watch. Watch these other governments. They're all gonna crash. America's gonna be saved for last. They're already getting hit with a couple of body blows right now, but the American people, they're so they're so stupid. They're literally been living in a fantasy land. Okay, the Turkish, they're Edomites as well. Okay, you got a lot. These are the Edomites that converted to Islam. Okay, but you got Arabs in there. There's a mixture in there. Edom and Ishmael. And they were doing pretty good, man. They were doing pretty good, but the Most High is crashing these world economies. You know what? I want to get 2 Ezra 15, because we're starting to see something very interesting. We're starting to see people go against the government, and it's not just, it's this one country. You guys always been saying so. Nah, it's all type of countries. Europe is in an uprising right now, and it's going to come to America. Okay, best you believe it. It's already here. 2 Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So this is a global thing. Everybody's about to experience pain. Okay? Everybody's about to experience pain. Now the elite, they have money and they have the resources to flee from these things. They think they're going to be like the phoenix that's going to rise through the ashes. No, Esau. This place will be destroyed. You will go and hide it, but you're going to get grabbed up. You're going to get grabbed up. You're going to be locked up. Okay, we're going to lock your ass up for all the crimes against humanity. Okay? because you're causing this. Esau, he could have a system to where everybody wins. All you gotta do is just implement the law, statute, commandments, right? Everybody wins. But he's like, no, he gonna do it his own way, because he's the devil. That's why. And all you jakes that don't believe that, so what? Who cares if you believe? Nobody cares. Okay, this deal is going down whether you like it or not. Okay, because this is the will of Yahweh Shemal Shai. Okay, so this is a global thing. This is a world event, and we're seeing, starting with Turkey, which is them Turkish, they were doing good. They were pretty much, all of them were like middle class. Okay, they had all type of businesses. Okay, but for whatever reason, they're going down. The Most High is, starting with them. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. Right, it's drawing nigh. It's getting closer. All these crazy events that are coming, that are in the earth that we've been seeing, especially 2020 with this whole health crisis, and it's only getting worse. Okay, things have not gotten better. People are mourning for the good old days. Okay, one moment. They want the good old days. Right? It's because their destruction is drawing closer. And we see that. Okay? The men of Yahweh Shemal Shai, we see the destruction drawing nigh. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to hide ourselves under the secret place of Yahweh Shemal Shai, under the wings of the Heavenly Father. Right? And what is that? Habakkuk and wrath, remember mercy. So we see, hey, the deal is about to go down. And it's going to be terrible. It's going to be a terrible sight. This is nothing. Okay, your currency crashing 40, down there 45% within this whole year, 15%. It's going to be in the thousands of percent. Okay, it's going to be hyper. It's only inflation right now. It's going to be hyperinflation, where you're going to need $100,000 to buy a carton of eggs. Where the current, at that point, the currency is nobody's even dealing with the currency no more. Okay, that's how bad it's going to be. It's going to go barter. But before that, it's just going to be all out hell, man. We don't know exactly, exactly how it's going to happen, but we know it's just going to be pure hell. A lot of different, all these things can happen at one. It can have a barter system. They can, gold and silver at one point. It can be this. It can be, We just know that it's judgment, and we want that. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, and for the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. Now, why would people fight against another? Because the currency is crashing. Because goods are low, resources are low. Let's bring that out. In Luke, the 21st chapter, when it goes into what's that word? Let's bring it out. It just escaped me. Right, perplexity. Let me just read this here in the title, blue, the return of the anointed, Yahweh Shai. He delivers. Okay, he's going to come and deliver us from all these things that are coming to the earth. Okay, and what it said, what will life be already kindled? Luke the 12th chapter, the fire. This is all part of that heat, that hotness. Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the star. I mean, at this point, 2021, if you don't believe, I mean, shit, I don't even know what to tell you. Everything is right there. Everything is clear. Okay, and the Most High, He raised up the prophets to show you these things, to break these things down. Okay, so the prophets are making it plain upon tables. And in the moon and in the stars and upon earth, distress of nations. Nations with an S. So you're seeing the stress of nations in Europe. You're seeing the stress of nations in China. They're not showing you that. They're not going to show you that. They're not going to show you what's happening in China. Okay? They about to bring the market of beast. Oh, you can't even say that. The video's going to go down. Okay? And that's another thing. Our voice is Esau's trying to stop our voice. This truth. We're the poor. If we're lying, why take the videos down? If we're lying, why try to, confront this truth with lies? It's because the truth, just the truth alone is destroying every single lie out there. A lie can't stand up to the truth. It's impossible. It don't matter how elaborate the lie was. It's still a lie, right? So we're seeing distress of, and you know what? You can't hide this. This is something that you can't hide. The media has to cover this. Everything's being televised. Okay, how do we know that hell is going out there in Turkey? The mainstream media is not covering it, but these alternative media platforms are covering it, and they have their own twists and their own narrative that they're trying to paint. Okay, but the thing is, it's prophecy. Okay, and things are going to be getting loud. The prophecies are going to be speaking louder and louder. They're going to become more clear and clear, to where even certain of our people that doubt it, right? They're going to believe. See that? The Most High is going to have some of our people that were, doubting. They're going to actually believe because it's going to be right in their face. It's going to be right in their face. And upon the earth's distress of nations with perplexity and the seas and the waves warrant. And I want to get this word perplexity. You got to go into the root. But it means, one of the definition means a lack of resources, right? It doesn't really give you anything here when you just go right to this, what is it, G640. You got to go G639. You got to go to the root, right? Let's play that, Aporio.
Strong's G639. Aparreo.
Right? It says to be without resources. See? So there's going to be your currency is going to crash. Which is going to stop you from getting a lot of these resources, as well as supply chains are going to be pretty much, broken down. Okay? There's always a blame. They're gonna blame this. They're gonna blame that. But we already know who the blame is. It's the wicked. It's Esau, Edom. Okay? It's the wicked elite bankers, and they're doing this. They're doing this so they can bring in this new system, this digital system, and that's gonna change the game up. Okay? It's gonna change the game up. Okay? When they bring in this digital system. Okay, you gonna see, man. You gonna watch. We gonna see, man. We gonna see. The Lord about to jack a lot of people up. They're gonna be in a state of perplexity. And they're gonna be in a state of distress. They're gonna be like, "Well, how did this happen? How did this happen?" Right? Be in straits. STRAITS. Okay, a path of difficulty. To be left wanting. To be embarrassed. See, a lot of you going to be embarrassed. To be in doubt, not to know which way to turn. We're going to know exactly which way to turn. We're going to know exactly which way to turn. Okay, we're already on the path now. Okay, and Yahweh Shemal Shai, he's going to guide our steps. That's part of our prayer. Okay? That's part of our prayers for the Lord to guide our steps. So when the time of difficulty comes, okay, which that time is approaching, we're going to know exactly what to do. If the Lord got to send an angel to come and tell us what to do, that's what he's going to do. Okay, and that has happened many times in the scriptures. Okay, a lot of you Israelites, you don't really believe. Okay, so, hey, let it come. We're hastening the day. See, that's what you people don't understand. We want these things to come. We want all hell to break loose. Okay, crash the fucking currency, Esau. It's going to happen regardless anyway. Okay? Oh, my money, I got money in the bank. To hell with your money in the bank. Okay? This system has to go. We're not leaving with anything here. Okay? We not even leaving with these bodies, man. We're gonna be changed. We're only leaving with our spirit. Okay? That's how we getting out of here. Men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. See that? And we read that in 2 Esdras. Okay, the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Because at least going to be doing all this, but they're going to run. They're already running. They're already running. They could be in bunkers right now. That's all we know. They can be literally in a fucking bunker somewhere under the earth, deep within the earth, in a whole underground city, calling plays. Like the dude, the top mafia member, he's in prison, but he's still running the show. Okay, he's still running the show. He got hella power. To where even if he's in prison, he calling hits on niggas. Okay? So at least they got this system already set. This is the Most High, man. It's the Most High on the left-hand side. Okay? And he about to shake up this world. He about to shake you people up. He about to humble you people. He about to especially humble you women. Okay? Well, we just read, men's heart failing them for fear. Okay? We're not going to be, that spirit of fear is going to try to creep up in there. But the spirit of Yahweh Shai is going to overtake us. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And then all you people are done. All you people are done. Okay, when Yahweh Shai comes with the big fathership and a multitude of angels, Michael's going to be there. All the angels are going to be there. Okay, and they coming to jack you people up, and they coming to deliver us. Okay, and and instantly we're gonna be changed into an angel-like state. Okay, we're gonna be extraterrestrial, meaning we're gonna have the power of an angel, which an angel can destroy the whole earth. We're gonna have the power of the angel, but we're gonna be in a physical body form. We're gonna be able to deal with women. We're gonna be able to, walk amongst men. Okay, eat food. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up. See, our head is looking up. We're not looking in the dirt, in the ground. Our mind is not here in America. What am I gonna do in 2 years from now? I need my job. What about my job? The mandates are coming out. I need a job. How am I going to work? We're not looking up. We're not thinking about that. Okay, our conversation is in heaven, meaning our deeds, our actions. Okay, our actual words. We're speaking life to each other. We're not speaking death to each other. We're speaking victory. Then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Right, we're about to be redeemed. We're about to be bought back. Okay, and it starts now. Let me see. 2 Ezra. Yeah. 2 Ezra. Let me just wrap this up. It's a little longer than I expected, but hey, it is what it is. Who cares? 15 and 15. For the sword and destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in the hands. It's going to get nasty. It's going to get ugly. We've been saying this, and you have certain of our people, they believe, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful, but most don't. And you know what? That's beautiful too, because the Most High is going to destroy you. Okay, we're not going to get hurt over that. We don't get hurt because you don't believe. Okay, this is not we're trying to grab members up. We need members. We need tights, and we don't need none of that. We got the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay. For there shall be sedition among men. See, and invading one another, because it's going to get hectic on top of a currency crashing, which that's going to be catastrophic. The American dollar dropping, 15% in one day, another 15% the next day. By year's end, 2022, by year's end, the dollar all these world currencies could crash. Lord's will they do. Lord's will. Okay, I want to see what you niggas gonna be doing with you rap niggas with the money phones. You got a money phone. Well, we're gonna see. You ain't gonna you know what you're gonna use that money for? You're gonna use it to wipe your ass because there's gonna be no more toilet paper. You're gonna use them blue hundreds. They ain't gonna be worth shit. How many niggas have died over green money, green paper? For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And we're seeing this. We're seeing. Let's play it. That's the police. You see in the little red jackets. They grabbing people up. Where they grabbing them up? And we in a pandemic. All this shit is happening and we're in a pandemic. So-called. Why is he mad? There you have it. Shalom to the elect.